I cover both Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's cover both in one.
That dominated the US in the early 2000s. We've all seen the memes posted for Nostalgia Cloud, but it's interesting there's always been a desire to either pit these two against each other or have them cross over in some
I didn't even know there was a crossover.
We've never really gotten anything technically official. There is one weird thing I want to talk about. So, let me tell you about Kids WB.
Of course it was for kids. Who else was it going to be?
In the United States that aired all the good stuff owned by Warner Brothers on Saturday morning.
Which was all of the good stuff.
Scooby-Doo, Teen Titans, and so much more.
Basically, your childhood.
They aired anime dubbed by
at least a good chunk of it.
Like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! While nowadays some fans will look back on 4Kids dubs with disdain, some credit should be given for introducing us to these shows at all. Anyway,
I just look back and laugh.
Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Aired alongside each other from 2001 to 2006. And this wasn't just a television block with a lot of shows. Kids WB would often air crossover commercials and have themed weekends, where characters were cut out of their respective shows and brought together, often with original voice acting. Cartoon Network also did this with their Cartoon Fridays block and their CN
I miss when they did stuff like
this. I will argue that Kids WB did it better because some of these are the most unhinged commercials I've ever seen. These were wacky, but the fact that all of this effort was put in with
Ash Ketchum meets Osmosis Jones.
Assets and again, the voice actors really made them something special. It all took place on a cartoon-styled version of the Warner Brothers studio backlots. I assume this implies that all of these characters exist outside of their respective shows as actors and film everything here.
Fine with me. I can roll with that.
Idea as a setup because you can also have these kids just coming in from live action and having fun here as well.
Yeah, don't need to explain a thing.
In the past in themed Christmas videos, but why not take a look at a few that bring Ash and Yugi a little closer together? One fine summer, we had the privilege of watching the Way Out of the Way road trip, where characters from Kids WB were split into 3 groups and traveled across the United States to explore some landmarks. Seeing all these big names inside the mystery machine was crazy enough, but it turns out there was even a sweepstakes, and it appears that one of the prizes was a t-shirt themed after the Way Out of the Way road trip. Because these commercials are so old, the exact design is a little hard to make out, but it looks like Yugi is here on the left, and if he's there, I would assume
imagine having
that. Are there as well. Let me know if you can make
it does kind of look like Pikachu.
Then that makes this an officially licensed crossover t-shirt. The real question is, who won any of these, and do they still have it?
Probably not.
Most of the road trip commercials are just the characters interacting with whatever landmark they come across, but we do get to see some Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh characters together, like Joey and Pichu of all characters.
What a weird combo.
Send this screenshot to a friend and see what they say.
Yeah, put this in out of context.
You're watching the Kids WB Way Out of the Way road trip.
You're watching the Kids WB Way Out of the Way road trip.
And there's your crossover, everyone.
There was also the Turkey Day Food Fling, which had characters divided into 2 teams, one of heroes and the other of villains.
Naturally.
The Crunch Bunch featured both Ash and Yugi,
Team Rocket and Kaiba.
Jesse, James, and Kaiba. Each segment just had them launching gross food in weird ways, and while it's a fun time, the focus is really on the wacky shenanigans of everybody all together.
Naturally.
There isn't a whole lot specifically with the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh characters. There was also, of course, the Holiday Sock Party, which, like I said, I discussed in a video. But once again, it contains numerous
a duel?
with the entire cast of Kids WB, with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh characters appearing together a handful of times.
They had
Specifically, at one point, Ash is watching a duel between the Sock, which was a running character, and Kaiba.
Man, they couldn't imagine that was Ash.
The events focused around Yu-Gi-Oh, like Yugi's Tips and Tricks training camp.
Oh boy.
Do you want to learn how to duel?
Ash does.
Now's your chance in my Duel and Tips and Tricks training camp. For one entire Saturday, my camp counselors and I will be revealing some of the game's best strategies.
Oh.
Such as when to play a trap card, how to read your opponent's mind,
What?
or how to style your hair. Let me help you with that.
Oh, I wish that one was canon. God, imagine that was the Shaggy we got from Velma.
Duel and Tips and Tricks training camp this Saturday, beginning
Don't know if it would have been better or worse.
on Kids WB.
In each segment, Yugi would spend some one-on-one time with different characters. And now we get the battle of the century as Yugi tries teaching Ash how to duel.
Oh boy.
Time for more of Yugi's Duel and Tips and Tricks training camp. Card choices.
All right, Ash, I've played a Magical Hats card. Now, what card might you play?
Should I play Karibo?
No. What card would you play? You have to think quickly in these situations, Ash.
Charizard.
Yeah, he would.
That's what I would play.
Oh, I see.
Stay tuned for more of Yugi's Dueling Tips and Tricks Training Camp right here.
So
on
Ash
Kids
beat
WB.
Yugi, technically.
Well, it was only part of a tutorial, and Ash never even played a card, so I'm not sure if this counts as a win.
Sort of.
But it's hilarious and actually has both of them acting in character.
Yeah, right?
If Ash and Yugi actually met each other, I think they'd be friends and just
Seemed
really
kinda
want to
like
battle or
a
duel each
Yu-Gi-Oh!
other for
abridged
fun.
moment.
There was also the Halloween Duel of Screams, which actually ran for 2 years in a
Really?
row, but it's hard to find any
Oh,
recordings
Christ.
of it. The one I did find was a camera in front of a TV screen, but hopefully that gets the point across.
That's
This
all you
was
need,
a tournament
unfortunately.
loosely inspired by Duel Monsters, where characters would face off against each other using cards of screaming children to create the scariest scream.
Why?
Look, I know that sounds insane. And it is, but anyway, the tournament bracket works out in such a way that we get another duel between Ash and Yugi.
Oh, Christ.
I've got my 2 best scream cards. Go Mario, go Eve.
Wrong. My magic cloak card makes one of your cards disappear.
Huh?
Bye, Eve. Ooh.
Yugi wins. Stay tuned. The final
So Yugi got his win back?
play on Kids WB.
This time, Yugi wins and even goes on to win the entire tournament.
Of course
Might
he
be rigged,
does.
But apparently he didn't win last year.
What's
so I
that?
think this
Yugi
is
won
one
the
of
card
cuts.
game
But
tournament?
anyway,
You
I
don't
guess we
say.
finally have our answer to the Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh debate. Ash would beat Yugi in a Pokemon battle, but Yugi would beat Ash in a duel.
So basically
Now,
what
both of these
everyone
animes have different
expected.
Power scaling. What a surprise. Though it seems like as the years went on, they either became more generic crossovers or Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh characters fell out in favor for distinctly Warner Brothers owned IP.
Naturally.
And near the end of the programming block's run, there were even less crossover events. Nowadays, the Pokemon franchise keeps to itself except for Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
And the occasional Japanese-only
Aw,
promotion.
that's cute.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Only crosses over with other properties that also originate from Shonen Jump.
Yep.
But I just want to say
Like
that
Jump
that means
Force.
because we have Goku, Naruto, and Deku in Fortnite, Yugi is not too far off.
Eh.
But for the few years we had, I am so surprised it all happened on Kids WB.
I know,
After
right?
taking a look at these crossover commercials, I think this was a major reason we often wanted to see these two franchises go at each other, because they were so closely related to each other in the US. Of course, over in Japan, the anime were created by different
Yep.
studios and aired on different channels.
Oh,
But in the rest
both
of the
aired on
world,
TV
they would
Tokyo,
air one
yeah.
right after another on the same station, and were both dubbed in English by 4Kids Entertainment.
Hmm.
Because of this, they even shared voice actors. Dan Green voiced Yugi Muto and Professor Birch, as well as several other Pokemon characters, like friggin' Entei and the Iron Master.
Dan Green
Roddick.
was just about
Rebecca Taylor
everyone.
played Ash Ketchum, of course, and in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, she was Carly
Really?
Carmine.
Huh.
Eric Stewart voiced Seto Kaiba
And Brock,
Brock, as well
most
as
famous
James.
one.
Ted Lewis voiced Bakura and Jack Atlas, as well as Tracy Sketchit and Giovanni. Maddie Blostein voiced Solomon Muto and Meowth. Tara Sands played Mocha Bukaiba, and
I never
Richie,
would have
as well
guessed
as
that
young
Grandpa
Samuel
was
Oak. Amy
was
Birnbaum
played by a
was Taya
woman.
Gardner and Max.
Plays
Those
the
are
voice
just
so
to name
well.
Some of the main roles, but no doubt they shared even more voice actors. So the only time Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Really crossed over was thanks to 4Kids and Kids WB. I'll try to leave links to some playlists or compilations so that you can witness the pure insanity for yourself. But otherwise, it's so fun to seek these out and discover what's been preserved all these years. This was such a fun video to make and was actually the result of a collaboration between myself and the Twitter account Pokemon Commercials, which is run by me.
Duh.
And also the new channel on the block, GatorX Yu-Gi-Oh!, which in case you couldn't tell is also run by me. Yes,
It
that's
has no
right, it's a
subscribers
new
and no
year, and I'm
videos.
feeling the itch to make some Yu-Gi-Oh!
So it's a crossover
content
between
yet
yourself,
again. Now,
yourself,
this won't be a
and
channel
yourself.
for duels, pack openings, and deck profiles. My goal is to create basically the same type of content I do here, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! So that means scripts, unique topics, and lots of memes. But please be patient,
As per
I'm
usual.
still getting things off the ground. If you're also a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, go ahead and subscribe, and if not, don't worry, this shouldn't interfere with the videos here. But now that both the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime have gone their separate ways, I look forward to see what they both bring us in the future.
I would want to see a
Thank
crossover
you
in the
every
future.
channel member for
Alright,
your
stop
continued
there.
support.
It's a pretty cute thing to check out, like back in the day. It's always like, because you just look back on those earnings, like, man, they got away with so fucking much. Do you know how much 4Kids would get copyright claimed if they try to do this nowadays? God. I don't want to say that the old days were better just automatically because they happened when I was a kid. I mean, that's the old joke to be like, the best year of animation, the best year of television was the year that you were watching it, you know? Or something like that. It's just like, they don't have it like back in my day. I don't know. It was a bit more fun, though. Just surprised I didn't have more, like, crossovers of, like, I don't know, Pokemon versus Godzilla or something. I don't know. I think that was on the... No, wait, that was on Fox Kids, so... Wait, wasn't that the WB? That one that, again, the show might have not been on anymore, sadly. The Godzilla the Animated Series was not a very long-lasting show, sadly. That would have been a hell of a crossover. Charizard versus Godzilla. Ugh. Wait. I'm actually in the console of the Mystery Machine. Yeah, freak. But yeah, this was just some fun stuff. And the results are exactly what we expected. Ash would win a Pokemon battle, Yugi would win a duel. Although I think that Yugi would still pull a win out of his ass with a Pokemon battle, let's be real here. I'd say that Ash is contractually obligated to always lose, but actually no, he's won some tournaments, so it's not fair enough. I don't know. So far, Yugi's send-off has been more fulfilling than Ash's, but I don't know, there's still one more episode of Journey's Master whatever to go through, so who knows when those run around. At least the time I'm recording. Anyway, this is a fun thing to check out, and we'll never see anything like this happen ever again. Hopefully I'm jinxing it.